Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit, and it is for the PGW World Championship. Introducing first the challenger, hailing from parts unknown. He weighs in tonight at 165 pounds, Sonic The Hedgehog. Well, welcome CIW fans, and of course welcome to all you PGW fans, and we've got a great main event for you here tonight. The PGW World Championship will be on the line. The challenger, Sonic the Hedgehog, a man that makes Rey Mysterio look like Greg the Hammer Valentine. Very, very exciting athlete this man is, and he's hoping tonight is going to be his night. Is he going to achieve greatness here in this very ring? We're about to find out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, hailing from Des Moines, Iowa, he weighs in tonight at 242 pounds, and he is the current reigning and defending PGW World Champion, Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan, the first ever PGW World Champion, becoming the first ever champion after defeating CM Punk in a hellacious 2 out of 3 falls match. And a very, very different challenger he faces tonight. What a contrast of styles we've got here. Arthur Morgan, primarily a brawler, nothing flashy, nothing flamboyant about what this man does in the ring. And then on the other side of the ring, you've got Sonic the Hedgehog, a high flyer, a very fast mover. Two very, very different styles. It's going to be interesting to see how the champion Arthur Morgan does here. He's never faced a man quite like Sonic the Hedgehog. You've got to believe that if Sonic can use his speed and quickness and hit some of those flashy moves on Arthur Morgan, he has got a great chance of walking away tonight as the new PGW World Champion, but not a good start. As Sonic the Hedgehog deciding to lock up with Arthur Morgan. Morgan is always going to come out on top in that exchange, but look at Sonic go now with that martial arts training on full display. A big kick to the face. Look at Sonic go now, wasting no time, making the most of this opportunity. And now with a submission maneuver, but too close to the ropes. Referee calling for a break there. Good start here from Sonic. And look at that rolling thunder right to the abdomen of Arthur Morgan, the champion. A very, very bad start for him, it has to be said. And now Sonic the Hedgehog, look at the fly here. Tries a somersault off the top, but smart move by the champion, managing to get out of the way, seeing that move coming. And a big time clothesline now by the PGW World Champion. And this is exactly the sort of fight that Arthur Morgan wants. Let's just trade blows, get the man on the ground now and stomping him. If Sonic the Hedgehog's on the canvas, there's no hopes of him hitting any of those flashy high-risk moves. This is what Morgan's got to do, primarily a brawler, and showing exactly why that's his preferred fighting style. Is now knocking Sonic down into the corner and just stomping on the abdomen of everybody's favourite blue hedgehog. The champion now looks to be gaining control. Sonic the Hedgehog look to be having a good start, but the brawling skills of Arthur Morgan proving too much at the moment. Just stomping on him again. As now Arthur Morgan with the lateral press, he thinks he's done enough to put the challenger away, and he was very, very close to getting a 3 count there, but Sonic the Hedgehog just about sticking in there. Nonetheless, the beatdown is continuing here as Morgan completely relentless. I'm sure stomping a hedgehog is against so many animal rights laws, but nonetheless Arthur Morgan, he doesn't care. But these heavy blows to the face of Sonic the Hedgehog blocks it this time though, as Sonic coming off the ropes, maybe sees an opening, tries a clothesline. Morgan ducking out of the way, and now Morgan punting him back with a knee to the gut. Perhaps a brief opening there for Sonic, but that opportunity has gone now as Arthur Morgan with the leg hooks looking to put this match away with a cover. And my God, once again Arthur Morgan so close to retaining that championship, but once again Sonic somehow just sticking in there despite all of the beatings he has took thus far in this match. As now Morgan continuing to do what he does best and throwing those heavy right hands, now sends Sonic the Hedgehog for the ride, picks him up, tries the spinebuster, but nice reversal by the challenger. Sonic reversing. Could be a good chance here. Sends Arthur Morgan to the apron. Tries knocking him to the outside, but Morgan the shoulder to the midsection. And manages to avert disaster there, does Morgan. And now with Sonic on the ground at the mercy of the champion. What's he going for here? STF applied. Sonic trying to reach for the ropes, but he's a long way away. Morgan could have had the submission there, but maybe had to release his grip. Maybe Sonic was putting a lot of pressure on him, trying to escape that hold, but nonetheless another back suplex, and the challenger face down, motionless in the centre of the ring. It's not looking good here for Sonic the Hedgehog. He's going exactly to plan here for Arthur Morgan as he sends Sonic into the corner. Tries running in with the clothesline, but look at that nice counter and a big spinning kick to the face by Sonic the Hedgehog. Trying to make an opportunity for himself, spinning over the back. Beautiful floating over, slamming Morgan's face right into the canvas. This may be the only chance he gets. He's got to make the most of it. Tries a somersault across the back, but Morgan rolling out of the way. And Sonic just can't get a break in this match. Every time it looks like an opening, every time Sonic feels he's got the opportunity to go for one of those big spectacular moves, Morgan has it well scouted every time, and this may be game over for the challenger here. The lateral press, the shoulders down, and once again Sonic just by the skin of his teeth managing to survive, but surviving is not what he needs to do if he wants to walk away with the belt. And now look at Morgan reapplying that STF, very painful submission maneuver. Oh, but this time Sonic managing to reach the ropes, forcing a break. Sonic needs to do something in the next minute, because if he doesn't, I fear this match is going to end. And it's been such a dominant display by the champion, as now Morgan sending Sonic for the ride. Tries the clothesline, but look at that. Sonic sticking an elbow in the face, maybe an opening for the Hedgehog. Can he make the most of it this time? Well, that's a nice move. Morgan taken down. As now Sonic, beautiful leg drop right across the throat of Morgan. That may have knocked his speaking voice down a couple of octaves, and now Sonic trying the quick roll up, but Morgan a long way away from being finished off. He needs to dish out more punishment, trying a sunset flip. He needs to find a way to inflict some damage on the champion. And he's not going about it the right way at the moment, getting nailed with the face with right hands. Now Arthur Morgan dropping the elbow off the ropes. Normally the set up to his finisher, normally the set up to the stunner. The question is Arthur Morgan going to finish this match now? Well, he tries to, but Sonic with a reversal. Now with a collar and elbow tie up, Sonic rolling across the back once again. Look at this, takes the man down, tries the headlock. Arthur Morgan ringing the arm, Sonic flips out of it, takes the man down, sweeps the legs from under him. And now Sonic once again trying a quick roll up, catching the champion by surprise. The shoulders down, but Morgan getting the kick out. Tries the clothesline, does Sonic. Morgan getting out of the way and hits him with a clothesline of his own. As now Morgan looking to fly, very uncharacteristic for this man. Tries a flying clothesline, Sonic getting out of the way. Now Sonic charges in, tries the flying clothesline, didn't get all of it. And what is this move? Beautiful Lucha Libre style arm drag there, and that really hurt the champion. Got to hammer home this advantage now though, has Sonic. He's got Morgan in the corner. Morgan comes running down. The whisper in the wind. The challenger pulling a big move out of nowhere. And now the legs hook, the shoulders down. Have we got a new champion? No, we've not. Sonic with a look of disbelief on his face. I can't believe it. Very, very close to getting the victory there. Can't let that deter him. He's got to stay on the champion here. He may be just a few short moments away from gaining the victory. A corkscrew body attack across the spine of Morgan. The tide really changing now as Sonic the Hedgehog rolling across the back of the champion. Comes from behind, tries the waist lock, but Morgan fighting out with elbows. Gets behind Sonic the Hedgehog, tries the same thing. Sonic now with the reversal. And now beautiful reverse DDT by the challenger, but look at Sonic. He's taken a beating and he's feeling the effects of this nonetheless, going to the top rope, but at the wrong time there. The wrong time to go to the top. Arthur Morgan was ready for that attack. Morgan maybe trying the stunner, but Sonic somehow managing to cling on, charges in. Morgan ducks, now sent off the ropes with his momentum. Nice hip toss by the champion. And Sonic back at the mercy of the champion now as Arthur Morgan tries an Irish whip. Sonic reversing that move, right hand to the face. Tries a move, but Morgan turning him around. And now Morgan with the Irish whip sending Sonic for the ride, and a big knee to the gut, knocking all of the momentum and the air out of the abdomen of Sonic the Hedgehog, and now Morgan dropping an elbow right off the top. One step forward, two steps back here for Sonic the Hedgehog, and now Morgan! Arthur Morgan nailing the stunner on Sonic the Hedgehog, his finishing manoeuvre. Is there any hope here for Sonic the Hedgehog? The leg is shut, the shoulders down, and no, there's not. Arthur Morgan, still your PGW World Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner and still the PGW World Champion, Arthur Morgan. Well, Arthur Morgan did his job. Sonic's so dangerous with those high-flying moves, but for most of the match, Arthur Morgan managed to prevent him from nailing any of them. He neutralised the biggest threat, the biggest weapon his opponent had, and that is why Arthur Morgan is still your PGW World Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a 4-man Gauntlet match. Introducing first, hailing from Pickering, Canada, Chris Van Vliet.
Chris Van Vliet.
Well, just as Mil Mascaras was known as the Man of 1,000 Masks, Chris Van Vliet on the PGW channel, known as the Man of 1,000 Names, likes to change his name on a regular basis, maybe to keep law enforcement on their toes. No one knows quite why. I'm going to try and keep up to date with all of those name changes as this match goes on. Remember, the winner of this match will get a shot.
Chris
PGW World title.
Vliet.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing the second participant. Hailing from the metaverse, Mark Zuckerberg. Well, Mark Zuckerberg has spent many years trying and learn about the ways of the human species. After all of those years of research, only one discovery this man has made, and that is that nobody wants to join him in the metaverse. The fact that I'm sure he thinks about every single night as he cries himself to sleep on his pillow. Hopefully a win for Zuckerberg here go some way to numb that pain. I'm sure it would. It's a 4-man gauntlet match. If Zuckerberg can beat Chris Van Vliet and 2 other opponents, could just be the man to go on and defeat Arthur Morgan, become the new PGW World Champion.
Chris Van Vliet.
Mark Zuckerberg's only had one win on the channel before, and he's not going the right way about it there, trying the cheap shot on Chris Van Vliet, getting nailed with a beautiful Total World Slam as Van Vliet sends him into the corner and a super kick right to the jaw. May have lost a couple of teeth on that one. As Van Vliet trying to move, Zuckerberg managing to turn him around, takes him down with a snap there, and we'll be calling him Chris Van Vliet, but I'm just getting word in my earpiece, Chris Van Vliet's just changed his name. He's now known as Chris One Sheet, apparently because he doesn't like to waste toilet paper. Very sparingly he uses that. It has been reported at a beautiful rolling thunder by Chris One Sheet as he comes off the ropes again. Look at that beautiful moonsault right to the abdomen of Mark Zuckerberg, and One Sheet could be about to score the first elimination here, but look at that. Zuckerberg getting the shoulder up very defiantly there, but look at One Sheet really going to work on the CEO of Meta. Now tries to go on the top rope, but gets his ghoulies, his nether regions, his Uncle Joel's mint balls impaled on that ring post. And now Zuckerberg has just created an opening for himself, now trying a quick roll up, going behind with the sunset flip, but the referee calling for the break. Nice counter though by One Sheet. Zuckerberg trying to catch the foot, but beautiful enziguri. As now One Sheet going to the top again, looking to hit a big high risk move, tries a diving sidekick. Zuckerberg getting out of the way and just takes One Sheet down, and getting word in my earpiece again. He's only gone and changed his name again. No longer will he be known as Chris One Sheet. He's changed his name now to Chris Von Erich. Of course, the youngest sibling of the Von Erich family. Maybe a homage, maybe a tribute, but nonetheless he's changed it again. As Von Erich now turns Zuckerberg around, takes him down with a snap there, beautiful move. As now Von Erich goes to the top rope, Waits Zuckerberg to get to his feet and this time nails the diving sidekick. Great move by the Canadian podcast host. And now look, well, trying to cover on Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg getting the shoulder up very, very quickly there. Tries a spinning heel kick. Nice counter by Zuckerberg as he sends him into the corner. Perches Von Erich on the top rope and a beautiful neck breaker. My God, what a thunderous move right from the top turnbuckle. And now Zuckerberg saying he's going to finish him off, and I'm just getting weird in my earpiece. He's changed his name again here. And he's gone back to the original name of Chris Van Vliet. He may not know what that name is here though. A trio of German suplexes by Mark Zuckerberg. A move created by a man perhaps less popular than Zuckerberg is, although that is debatable, as Zuckerberg now dropping him right in his head. The CEO of Metal with a beautiful move, pulling it out of the bag with a leg sunk the shoulders down, and Van Vliet's been eliminated. Another competitor to come out here.
Hey guys, Maven here. Hey guys, Maven here. Hey guys, Maven here.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the next participant.
Hey guys, Maven here.
Maven Huffman.
Hey guys, Maven here. Hey guys, Maven here. Hey guys, Maven here.
Well, the psychedelic experience has just invaded the CIW channel. Not quite as psychedelic as it once was. We had a lot of complaints about Maven's entrance. He's really had to tone it down.
Hey guys, Maven here. Hey guys, Maven here. Hey guys, Maven here.
A man who won the first series of Tough Enough. A man who spent several years as a WWE superstar. And a man that spends $500 a month on shampoo despite being completely bald. Yes guys, Maven is here. When you look at experience inside of that squared circle, you've got to believe Maven Huffman, the firm favourite over Mark Zuckerberg. And not just because his head seems to be twice the size of his opponent's. They say two heads are better than one. It looks like Maven's head is the size of two heads. But look at Zuckerberg with a cheap shot, and now, oh, a punch to Maven's guys. Really going to work now on the nether regions. The weakest part of a man's anatomy. A lot of ball abuse in this four-man gauntlet match here. Look at Maven though. Despite all the ball abuse, managing to slip out. Going behind Mark Zuckerberg and that enormous head. Nailing him. And now look at this. Hey guys, Maven's fist here. And Maven Huffman getting some ball-based revenge, the best kind of revenge in my opinion. As Maven now with that beautiful drop kick, perhaps the best drop kick in the business. Mark Zuckerberg finding out exactly why people say that about this man, as Maven building up a head of steam now, goes to the top rope, tries to launch a high-risk move, but more ball-based abuse being infiltrated in this match. As now Zuckerberg sends Maven for the ride off the ropes, tries a move but beautiful reversal. As now Maven going to the top rope, can he be more successful this time? Zuckerberg gets to his feet, nails a beautiful diving clothesline. And Maven's not done here, he's going up top again. Zuckerberg looks to be in a world of trouble, and a beautiful front drop kick. Maven Huffman on a bit of a roll at the moment. Mark Zuckerberg could be close to being finished off here. Well, maybe not. Tries the Irish whip. Zuckerberg with a reversal. And more abuse. More abuse to the testicles, as the doctors would call it. And now look at this. Picks him up and drops him on his head with that thunderous move again. I believe he calls that move the Meta Driver. Dirty, dirty means here. But it has worked. Zuckerberg defeats two opponents, only one man left to enter this match. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the final participant. He hails from Tampa Bay, Florida, and weighs in tonight at 165 pounds, Moistcritical. Oh, it is Moistcritical, but look closely, that is not a white t-shirt that man is wearing. You all know what they say about this man. When he wears white, you might be alright, but when he wears black, you best step back. And that may be the best course of action here for Mark Zuckerberg. We all know that when Moistcritical wears the black shirt of doom, seemingly an unstoppable force. I believe he's never lost a match whilst wearing that black shirt. Tear a man's windpipe out with just one finger. A deadly, dangerous machine he is, whilst brandishing that black shirt. The question is, can Mark Zuckerberg do anything to prevent his fate here? Two pretty good wins he's had, defeating a former WWE superstar. There's a two-man lock-up now, but look at Moist winning out in that. And Moist seems ready for this match as Zuckerberg gets up to his feet, nails him with a beautiful forearm to the face. Zuckerberg seems to be really struggling. It may be fatigue, or it may just be fear of what this man is capable of when brandishing that black shirt. As now Moist now going to the top turnbuckle, pointing the finger at Zuckerberg. Nails a beautiful diving sidekick. Zuckerberg in real trouble now. And now Moist going for that reverse twist of fate. The same move he used on EDP 445. The same move he used to defeat Chris Chan. And now the leg hook, the shoulders down. And yes, Moistcritical has done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Moistcritical.
Well, it was a good run for Zuckerberg. Take nothing away from him. But in the end, the power of the black shirt just too much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, currently in the ring, the team of Cowboy Dave Norris and William Brown.
Dave Norris and William Brown, a makeshift tag team, the complete opposite of the deadly combination, making their way to the ring now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, hailing from England and weighing in tonight at a combined weight of 373 pounds, the team of Lemmy and Rick Astley.
Perhaps the greatest tag team combination in the history of professional wrestling. Lemmy and Rick Astley, undefeated tag team. They've faced every challenge that has come to them on the PGW channel. Nobody has been able to defeat this deadly combination. Certainly a team you'd never expect. As soon as they teamed up to try and take out DJ Khaled, they have been a force to be reckoned with. And Cowboy Dave Norris, 20 plus year veteran of the sport, looking to start out here against Lemmy, but Lemmy wasting no time, quick drop kick. And as I said, if you've never seen these two men in action, you've really missed out. Forget about the Legion of Doom, the Midnight Express, all rubbish teams in my opinion, compared to the combination of Lemmy and Rick Astley. Not only a devastating force inside of the professional wrestling ring, but also in the musical studio. That mashup song, perhaps the greatest song ever written, on a beautiful dropkick by the Motorhead frontman Lemmy. Really going to work on Dave Norris now, inviting him to do something back. He tries to, but Lemmy ducking out of the way. And another dropkick by Lemmy. This man is on fire. 5 litres of Jack Daniels before this match, and it's really showing the effects that is having. Is now he takes in the man himself, Mr. Rick Astley, with a nice kick to the ribs. Well, I'll tell you what, in the 80s we established many things that Rick Astley would never do. He's never going to give you up, he's never going to let you down, and he is never going to lose a tag team match. Undefeated on the channel. This man is a devastating force. People talk about the Goldberg streak. In my opinion, he'd snap Goldberg's neck with his little finger. This man is unstoppable, and now look at that beautiful Hurricane Rana off the top. And look at the dance moves, the greatest dancer in the history of this planet. As now Rick Astley really doing a number on Dave Norris, drops him abdomen first, knocking all of the wind out of him. And Dave Norris hasn't had a chance to get near his partner yet. I don't think he will. And now look at this, scoops him up. Big time leg drop off the top. This match could be over. Well, it would be if they wanted to end it here. They end it whenever they want. And Lemmy's not done here. Look at this power. Military press, pressing the 200-pounder right above his head. As Lemmy now, look at this power on full display. Drops him right into the canvas. Rick Astley wants to get back in the ring. And Dave Norris looks to be done for here. And he certainly will be after this move. Astley nailing the Rick roll. And now knocking William Brown off the apron. Well, Astley and Lemmy have completely walked over this team. Now nailing the Rick roll, hooking the leg, referee making the count. And what can you say about that? A flawless performance, perhaps the greatest tag team of all time. Astley and Lemmy victorious once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of Lemmy and Rick Astley.
Well, for some reason that wasn't the main event. Don't ask me why. But nonetheless, the greatest tag team in history. Victorious, and remember, Motorhead's Wall Rick Roll, never going to give you the ace of space, the greatest track ever created. Now available in all good retailers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a short match challenge scheduled for one fall at a 2-minute time limit. Introducing first, he hails from Pickering, Canada, Chris Van Vliet.
Chris Van Vliet.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt the chant of the fans there. Chris Van Vliet has been doing very well in the short match challenge. An upset victory over Gunther and a great win in the previous match against Buff Bagwell. Very exciting match if you've never seen it. The rules are very simple, very short, 2-minute time limit, no exit in the ring, no rope breaks. And this is not going to be a slow-paced wrestling match. The only way to win is to go full throttle, throw everything you've got at your opponent except the kitchen sink and hope it's enough to get the victory. The question is, can Van Vliet's opponent tonight do the business inside of the ring?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, hailing from Bikini Bottom, Spongebob Squarepants.
Well, I'm not an expert on the complete history of the CIW channel, but it's a bold claim. I'm going to make it. I believe Spongebob Squarepants, the first ever sponge to compete in a wrestling match. I could be wrong on that. Please correct me in the comments if I've got that wrong, but got to be the case. Spongebob Squarepants hoping to beat Chris Van Vliet here, a man that's been on quite the roll in these short matches. He seems to have the right idea, he seems to have the right tactics, he's beat some great people. The question is, can he defeat Spongebob Squarepants? Two men were locking up there. Chris Van Vliet coming out on top, actually the larger man in this match. Very rare for that man.
Chris Van Vliet
normally finds himself the smaller man in the ring, but look at Spongebob retaliating now with a choke, just choking Chris Van Vliet, and his voice is important, being a podcast host. He may have to have a couple of weeks off after that as Spongebob smashes his face right into the knee. Just getting word in my earpiece that Chris Van Vliet has changed his name. He's now changed it to Chris Overheat. That may be because Spongebob's body was pressed on him there, the extra body heat, causing Chris Overheat to overheat. Couldn't get the cover on that occasion. Nonetheless, the match goes on here. Again, very short time limit, very little time to put your opponent away. You can't hold back, you can't strategize, you can't be cautious. And Spongebob with the right idea here, going for the lateral press, but this time Overheat getting out of it quickly. And I'm just getting word in my earpiece, he's changed his name. He'll no longer be known as Chris Overheat as he slams Spongebob off the top. He'll now be known as Chris Funky Beat. He does come out to a funky beat. Maybe he's noticed and now perched on the top rope. Is he going to go for the big crossbody? He's won so many matches with no. Tries it, but Spongebob getting out of the way and now taking the knees out from the Canadian podcast host. Spongebob now going for a big move. As Van Vliet gets to his feet, gets out of the way. I called him Van Vliet, his name's Funky Beat, and he's just changed his name again. I'm getting word in my earpiece, he's changed his name. He'll now be known as Kiss Some Teeth. And he's just changed it again. I've got another word in my earpiece. He's changed it straight back to Chris Van Vliet. And now the big crossbody, the shoulders down. And Van Vliet has done it again in the short match challenge. What a win for that man.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Chris Van Vliet.
A great win for Chris Van Vliet. And before we can